I replaced Lottie with AI and it actually works. I don't know the first thing about keyframes, timelines, or motion curves, and I don't even know how to animate. But that no longer matters. I just built this full animated character system inside my app using AI. Characters that dance along to the beat, get disappointed when you hit the wrong note, and celebrate along with you when you level up. And I didn't even have to use Lottie. In this video, I'll show my exact workflow, how I design these characters with Nano Banana, how I animate them with Sora 2, and I'll show you my entire workflow, including prompts and how to actually import the animations into vanilla SwiftUI. No animation skills required. Here's how I did it. I've been trying to build better apps. It's not just about having functional apps anymore. That's just kind of boring. And to be honest, everyone's doing that now anyway. To stand out, I want to build apps that feel alive, that feel premium. Apps like Uber, Airbnb, and Duolingo animate these beautiful transitions. They feel premium. They feel polished. And I guarantee they have a whole team of dedicated designers just pumping this stuff out. But I don't. It's just me. And I don't want to learn to animate. I just want to build stuff. So I built an AI workflow. To pull this off, I broke this down into 4 simple steps. Designing the character, generating the animation, creating emotional reactions, then importing the whole thing into SwiftUI. Let's design the character using ChatGPT and Nano Banana. First, I want to be clear on what I'm actually designing. For this app, I'm going with a cute Japanese cartoon style. I think they call it kawaii or kawaii, something like that. And I want to find a reference image, something that I can use to prompt ChatGPT to generate my own character. So I search cute kawaii characters on Google Images. I'm not looking to replicate an exact character here. I'm just looking for one that has the color scheme, the facial expressions, and the styles that I want to use as a guide. This one works. It's a chubby unicorn or something. My app won't have a unicorn in it though. I'm trying to think of characters that are common around the household. This is a piano app, so I want the characters to look like they would belong in the same room. I've already created designs for a cat, a dog, and even a pot plant. So for this example, I want to design a fish in a bowl character. That's something you would see near a piano, and it's a fun character that we can have a lot of fun animating. Having the initial design helps us prompt ChatGPT to keep all characters consistent. I asked ChatGPT to generate a cute kawaii fish in a bowl in the same style as the reference image. I used ChatGPT 5.2 for this initial step because it's good at blending styles and creating new characters when you prompt it right. You can see here that the generated character is just a little bit off. The fish has a unicorn horn and something odd is happening with those scales. But that's okay, we can fix that later. But I do like the initial design. I find ChatGPT not as good for making revisions. You lose consistency between updates and it just takes a little while. Instead, for revising the image, I head over to Nano Banana Pro. Visit aistudio.google.com, set up your API key, and select Nano Banana Pro as your model. Paste your character into the playground, and then just start prompting it. Remove the unicorn horn, replace the scales, that sort of thing. During this process, we also want to prompt out any background that's on there, putting it onto a solid green background. This will act like a green screen later, allowing us to generate animations on a transparent background. More on that in just a bit. We have the character design, we've got it on a green background. Now we just need to clean up that canvas a little bit. Get it ready to start animating. You could probably get away with prompting Nano Banana for the desired results here, but for me, I like this step to be pixel perfect, so I use Photoshop. For this design, I created a new canvas with a 6:19 aspect ratio, and I add my character to the center bottom part of the frame. I ensure that this aligns with the same position of all my character designs. That way there's consistency between each animation. And because my animations will dance from side to side and jump up, I need to make sure there's enough room for them to move about. You can use any standard aspect ratio that works for your animation, either 1:1, 16:9, or 9:16. This step is all about getting the image canvas ready to animate with Sora 2. And if you use a non-standard aspect ratio, it sometimes gets cropped in the process. And now, the fun bit. Let's animate. These are the animations that I prepared earlier. It's for a level of my piano game called Good Boy. a play on the sheet music lines E, G, B, D, F, which learners recognize as every good boy deserves fruit. He dances when you're playing, he jumps in excitement when you're winning, and he gets really upset when you miss a note. Oh, don't be sad, little guy. I'll do better next time. I want to bring my fish character to life in the same way. To achieve this effect, I use Sora 2. Head over to Found.ai and choose Image to Video. This option lets you provide the first frame of the video animation, and Sora animates it from there. There's two models available, the Pro version costing around about $1.20 per video, and non-Pro version costing around about 40 cents per video. From my tests, the Pro version consistently gets better results. So I go with Sora 2 Image to Video Pro. There are two parts of the prompt. The animation instructions: animate fish inside the fish tank slowly grooving to the music. Happy, solid green background. Followed by some more context. This is an idle animation screen for a game. The fish needs to just be grooving and moving slightly in a loop. Without a second prompt, I find Sora can zoom in, pan about, or just create unusable animations. Giving Sora more context just gives better results. Then I choose the 5-second option, match the aspect ratio that we selected earlier, and now I select how many videos I want generated. This is by far my favorite feature of Found.ai Sandbox. Instead of generating a video, seeing if it works, regenerating again, I can just ask it to generate up to 10 videos at once. It takes around 2 minutes, and you can hover your mouse over each one to preview. Then I simply save the one that works best, or if they're not quite right, I adjust the prompt and regenerate again. I like this one. It's a nice loop, not too distracting. He looks happy and cheerful. Next step, I need to turn this MP4 into a GIF and make the green part transparent. I import the animation into Premiere Pro, I create a color key and set the green area as the transparent element. Then export as an animated GIF at 25 frames per second. If the animation looks pixelated, I switch the transparency option from dithered to hard edges. Again, I like to get things pixel perfect here. I love to have full control at this stage, so I can trim the video exactly how I want it. But if you don't have access to a video editor, there's some free tools online like FFmpeg and websites like easygif.com that get similar results. Anum has a great tutorial on this process using nothing but a phone and free online tools. I'll put a link in the description below. This is what it looks like so far. It's fun, it's quirky, feels lively, and it's going to give my app some real spunk. To give some variety to the animations and to make it feel like it's interacting with the user, I've created 4 different routines: the idle animation, the dancing animation, the game over animation, and a level up animation. To create the additional animations, I repeat the previous step using the same character reference generated from Nano Banana. I just changed the prompt. Using the same reference image for all your generated animations not only ensures consistency, but also makes sure the animation starts from the same spot each time, and that's important when you're triggering reaction animations. For these animations, I played around with a few different prompts. The ones that worked best were fish jumping out of the fish tank in excitement, doing a backflip, then landing back in the water. Fish looks sad, deflated. And then for a simple idle motion, not dancing, not jumping, just chilling. I know, inventive, aren't I? You can see here, Sora starts adding all sorts of backgrounds and extra parts when the prompt just isn't very descriptive. But this second animation works, so I'll keep it. By this stage, we've generated the character design, generated a bunch of animations, we've converted it to GIF with a transparent background. All that's left is to bring it all together by importing the animations into my SwiftUI app and triggering them at the right time. It turns out this process is a lot easier than you might expect. We're basically just dealing with animated GIFs at this stage. We want to add them to the Xcode bundle, but keep the naming convention really simple. I've gone with character dancing, character game over, character idle, and character level up. Then ask ChatGPT to generate character view with a binding variable that lets you change the state on demand. It's important to ask ChatGPT to prefetch the GIF in the background first, otherwise you run the risk of the character disappearing for a few frames while it loads states. I've got the entire prompt on the screen, and I'll put a link to the generated character view in the video description below. And that's it. My app comes to life, the character is dynamic, and actually feels like it's interacting with the user. I designed the character in ChatGPT, made the modifications in Nano Banana, prepared the canvas in Photoshop, animated with Sora 2, and imported with Character View in SwiftUI. Feel free to follow this guide and adjust things that suit your own character designs. And start adding beautiful animations to your apps without learning Lottie. What do you think? Is this the type of video you want to see more of? I don't do a whole lot of tutorials on this channel, but seeing as Apple is now demanding apps that are higher quality, this seems like an easy win to add to your app and lift the bar. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this and what other topics I should cover.